Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Dream Right Go. I am your host, DWG. Let's get it. Today, we're going to be talking about my step by step tutorial or study notes concerning instancing and reusable scenes or assets in Godot based engines. These are my study notes, and I am teaching myself. I like to consider myself as a professional amateur, meaning that I am stumbling along trying to get this right. Godot based engines are like what you see up here, the OG being Godot and the forks being Blazium and Red Eye. Today we're going to be talking about Blazium. From Blazium, we're going to click on create and then we're going to want to name our project. For me, I'm going to name it instancing tutorial. We will make sure that create folder has been ticked. Hit browse. We'll move over into my folder for Godot based engines. Here is Blazium and click on select select that folder. We're going to move this get to none and click on create. Okay, so here we are inside of Blazium. I'm going to click on 2D at the top. Over in the file system is where we're going to start to create our folder. So if you right click, you'll see new folders coming up, and then we can go ahead and create our folder. The first folder will be called scenes, and then just go ahead and click OK, and you will see in the file system that the scenes folder is there. We're going to right click it again, and we're going to create the other two folders, which is going to be scripts and textures. Okay, so you see here that I have the scenes folder, the scripts, and the texture folder. I'm now going to go to the scenes folder. I'm going to click that, right click it, and from here, I'm going to select a new scene right here where it says scene. We click that. We make sure that 2D scene has been selected. And then I'm going to name this instance demo. And then we're going to go ahead and click OK. Now, once I did that, you will notice that that scene is already inside of the scenes folder. So now I'm going to click on this new scene that I just created, right click, and choose set as main scene. This is the entry point of where the program or whatever it is that we're doing will start off. Let's go ahead and test that real quick by clicking on the play button here, or you can use your keyboard shortcut. I think it's F5 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, right. It looks like it says F5. Let's go ahead and click that, and we should get a blank screen here. And I'll just close this, and you see blank screen. All right, let's go ahead and close that down. Now I'm going to go ahead and right click onto the scenes folder and choose new scene again. And this time I'm going to name this one CoinPrefab and go ahead and click on OK. And as you can see, it has showed up and inside of the scenes folder as it should. Now we need to go to the top here and we're going to right click, add child node, and we're looking for the sprite 2D. Now here goes the sprite 2D. We're going to go ahead and click on create, and you'll see that the sprite 2D has shown up underneath the coin prefab. To keep everything nice and neat so that you can remember what things are, we're trying to build good habits, right? So I'm going to go ahead and hit rename on this one, and I'm going to rename that sprite Coin Sprite. With the coin sprite being renamed, you're going to look over to the right here underneath texture, and you're going to notice that there is an empty place. Now, the reason that there's an empty place is that we need a texture for this. And since it's called a coin sprite, we need a coin texture. So I'm going to show you what I did. We're going to jump on over to my account inside of Canva. Now I made this inside of Canva, and since I'm inside of Blazium, I decided to make this Blazium looking coin. I hope you like it, right? Let's go ahead and jump out of here. And what I'm going to do is in the file system of Blazium, I'm going to right click, open up the file manager, and then jump over to my downloads and click on this coin right here. I'm just going to right click and copy and move back into Blazium, open up the texture folder, and then paste the coin that I created inside of there. I'm going to do the view, make it a little bit larger so that you can see it. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and close that. And you will see that in the texture folder over here to the left, my Blazium coin has appeared, right? Now, let's go ahead and pull this onto the board real quick. And you can see the Blazium coin, right? So let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. I'm stretching it out and whatnot. I'm doing this kind of on purpose. And you see it's a little bit blurry, right? So with this, now when it's smaller, it definitely looks a lot more clear. And if I remember correctly, now we don't want to go into there, but I think it's texture. Now, from filter, texture, inherit, if you choose to nearest, it will clear up. So you see like how it was all blurry, now it's more clear, right? And I can shrink it back down just to show you like that if you want to or whatever. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move this back to what it was, which was inherit, which is nice and blurry again, and get rid of this. So instead, we're going to jump into the project, go into our project settings, and then we will look for texture, which is underneath rendering. And default, let's change this from linear to nearest and close that. Now that that has been changed for the project in of itself inside of Blazium, I'll bring this over and you see there goes the coin texture. I'll bring it up and you see that instead of me going over here and doing all that, it has already done it because the setting is for the whole project. Let me go ahead and delete that off. Right now, let's get back to our coin sprite underneath no wait, yeah, right, coin sprite, yes. So underneath the coin sprite, we're going to move over here to texture where texture is empty. We click the down pointing arrow. Now you could do this a couple different ways. You could literally drag this texture over and put it in here, or you can hit the down pointing caret and go to load. And I'm showing you this so that you know that you can do things this way. Go to texture and then choose the coin that I created, hit open, and you'll see that the coin now is a part of it. It is the texture of this coin prefab, okay? Now, it's always important to save your scenes once in a while, although Blazium and other Godot-based tools, they tend to save themselves, but it's always a good idea to save. You can hit Control S, or you can go to the scene and click on save, and that way your progress has been saved and there's no issue up to this point, which is a good thing, right? So now let's go ahead and we're going to attach a script for instancing. So to do that, as you might have guessed, we're going to go to the script folder. And what are we going to do? Now, if you remember, like you're watching and you're looking at all my different videos that I'm doing, which I'm doing this on purpose to try to drill in a kind of workflow, at least one that I'm building for myself. Now you right click on scripts, we can go to new, and then what are we going to do? We need a new script. So let's go ahead and click on script to make a new script. Now on here, we want to automatically turn this inherit node 2D or from node to node 2D. So we're going to put in the 2 and the D. And then right here for the new script.gd, we're going to just go ahead and clear this all out. And we remember we did this on the other two tutorials that I've made, right? So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to create this new script by clicking on create. And you will notice that inside of the script folder that you will see the instance demo.gd GDScript, right? So there goes the little script thing. Now from here, I'm going to go up to instance demo.tscn. I'm going to double click that. Then we go over here to the top and click on the instance demo. And from the instance demo, we now want to look over to the right again underneath the inspector, go down to where it says script, click the down pointing arrow. We're going to go to load. And what are we going to do? We're going to look inside of the script folder, find our script that we just created, right? And then hit open. You'll know that it has now been attached to the instance demo because you see the little script icon right there. Now from here, we're going to go back into the scripts folder, which is down here, and you see our script that has been just connected to this, and we're going to double click it to go into the script itself in order to create the script. We're going to leave this whole extends node 2D there. I'm not sure if we're supposed to delete that or not, but as far as I know, we leave that there, but take that with a grain of salt. Now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and I'm just pasting in the code, right? And then we want to save. So we go to scenes and save scene, and you'll see that a lot of it has changed and the scene has been now saved. Now, all that's left to do is to find out if this is going to do what it's supposed to do. And if you put your notes in here, or if you're checking out the notes that I've put here, it should create 5 coins as an example. So 5 of the Blazium coins should show up on screen when I go ahead and run this. Over here, you can adjust the start, or not the start, but you can adjust where, or the positioning with that. I might have to change the notes on here a little bit to make that a little bit more clear, right? So with this, you will go ahead and test it, and we'll hit play, or you can click F5. So let's hit play. And there we have it. So here goes 5 Blazium coins that I created using this instance of one. So the script went on ahead and it attached to the instance of it, and it followed the instructions of creating the 5 coins, right? So let's look at this code just a little bit. And if you look at it, you see here where it has range 5. So where did the 5, how does it know 5 coins? So right there it has 5. Let's change this, right? Let's go ahead and make this into 10 coins, 10 denarii. Let's go ahead and turn it into 10. And let's do a save. Again, you can hit Control S. And, let me stop that. And then, I think that updates in real time. Not sure. In any case, let's go back, and we see that we now have 10 Blazium coins. And I wanted to bring up something that I am very, very appreciative of, and I like these type of pages. Whenever you're dealing with Linux distros and whatnot, I like when they have these type of pages. And whenever you're dealing with open source programs or even closed source programs, having a page like this is very important to me, right? And what we see here is, that Blazium is a fork of Godot, but where is its personality? What is it growing into? And that is what this page represents to me. I can see where this is going, what is being worked on, what am I getting from Blazium that I'm not going to get anywhere else, or I'm not going to get from Godot in of itself. And these are the services that they are currently working on. So you have like this thing right here. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what that is, but I can go ahead and click this and I can read up on it, find out. It allows me to say, okay, if this was important enough for them to put it in here, let me study up on it and find out what it is, right? Then down here, you have your compatibility with 4.3, because Blazium is based off of 4.3, but they cherry picked. And remember when we were talking about cherry picking and what that all means, by taking different features from the main core program, or project, which is Godot, and then taking those features and adding it into your fork. So they maintain 100% compatibility with 4.3 type projects, while giving you the advancements that are coming from the newer Godot. So you're not missing out, right? So you got the Jolt physics, you got the embedded game window, so on and so forth. So this is allowing it to diverge and create its own personality. And I highly like this type of page. I think it's very thoughtful. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm very appreciative of this. So right here, YouTube playables, right? So do you know what that is? The fact is that this YouTube playable client thing, this is not a node that's normally inside of Godot, right? This is a node that allows you to create your games and have access to the SDK of YouTube, so that you can put your games up on to YouTube playables. You see what I'm saying? And I didn't really understand what that was until I started digging around and trying to understand, like, okay, what is this doing? So this allows interaction between the Blazium game engine, and it takes some of the complexity out, where you would have to like do a lot of things by hand. A part of Blazium, it's already in there. It's already integrated, if I understand this correctly, okay? This is going to allow you to get onto YouTube playables, which you see right here. You go to your YouTube account, look down underneath Explore, playables right there. You click that, you'll end up here. If you go to home, you will see some of the popular ones, and you can click this and see these are the top popular ones, I guess, or go back to browse and pick a different game that you want to play. Once you play it, it'll be a part of your YouTube account, but you can delete it, and whatever data or whatever, you can delete that from your YouTube account, which I think is all very cool.